takes a couple seconds for it to get acclimated. So.
Says I'm live.
True. Okay, good. All right, guys, this is Kayla Houston with All Things HTX, powered by Connect Realty. And I am joined by my partner and friend, Mr. Keaon Hobson, also of All Things HTX. Thank you so much, Keaon, for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, so this campaign has been talking about coronavirus, how it's been affecting our lives personally, professionally, and what we've done to pivot, and change directions, not only in our personal lives, but for our clients. So tell me a little bit about how coronavirus has affected you personally.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, Kayla, I'm also involved in the restaurant industry, which has taken a big hit from this. So, you know, it's been pretty rocky, but we're keeping high hopes. You know, we've been doing some volunteer work and providing meals to other individuals in the restaurant industry that are also displaced from work due to the coronavirus. Otherwise, I've just been staying at home, staying active as much as I can, exercising, just doing some work online, getting just a good time to, slow down and refresh a bit,
Yeah, I agree. I can say the same thing as we're in the same industry as well with real estate. And I've had to change and pivot a little bit where I'm talking to my clients more on Zoom. I'm talking to my clients via phone more than I was before. We're doing a lot more transactional things, as in buyer's packets and things are given via email instead of given, face to face. Even this morning, having to go get masks and drop them off to a listing so that the buyers will still come to my listings, right? So a lot of changing, but I think it'll benefit us in the long run because we know we're capable of making whatever work, even though it's been conventional before, but it's going to still work itself out. So tell me a little bit about your business and some of the things that you feel as though have been impacted in your business, and then how you've kind of responded to that.
Well, I mean, it's been good and bad at the same time, interestingly enough. I've had situations where clients have, just completely stopped looking because they're afraid of coming out of their homes, and, they don't want to be showing, going on showings, looking at properties, touring properties. They're not so sure how the market's going to react to this pandemic. But then on the other side, I have clients that are taking advantage of this situation, and, now that they're not home, maybe not working full time, they have the time to search for homes and do the research and have the conversations and review properties. So I've been less active, but still active, per se. As far as showings, likewise, been having to take special procedures with that. So I've really just gone down to showing properties that are vacant only and have been vacant, while, still taking the same precautionary measures, while entering and exiting those properties. It's pretty interesting.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely interesting, especially when, things the example I gave this morning of getting masks, trying to find masks when they don't exist right now. There just aren't any masks. I mean, we've got respirator masks now that we're having to get, and so
I'm surprised you were able to find those. That's
that's because I got up at 5 a.m. this morning. Because I'm like, no, which one has it? I know you got a shipment. Which one are you guys doing?
Right. On every pharmacy in town.
Exactly. But I found them.
Good.
But so we, again, since we're both in the same industry, there's so much that you're saying that I can relate to. So what are you thinking after all this dies down and the epidemic is over and everyone's concerns are a little bit more calm, they're just more calm in general? I mean, what do you think that this is going to end up doing to our industry? Do you think that this will change? I have some ideas of what I think, but do you think it's going to change the way we do business?
I mean, I think that's a great question. I think it's a little hard to tell right now. I think we kind of have to wait it out and see how things pan out. I've been in constant contact with my network of lenders, keeping an update as far as how mortgage rates are going, interest rates as well, just trying to, keep a good understanding of how the market's being affected by this day to day, because, it is changing daily.
Right.
Rates are going up, rates are going down, they're going sideways, so I think it's kind of hard to say where things are going to end up. Of course, I'm remaining optimistic about it.
Yeah.
I've really, for my sellers, taking the time to go in and do detailed market analysis, get them real-time numbers. I mean, properties are still selling, sales are still happening, title companies are still open,
Right.
realtors are still working. So now it's a good time to really kind of analyze your properties, analyze your listings, analyze your markets, and get a good understanding of what's going on to be prepared for what may come in the future.
Yeah, I can say on my listings, ones that were just really not getting a lot of the traction that we would have expected early on in this pandemic, all of a sudden are like people are like out there looking since Tuesday when we were supposed to be on lockdown. So
Yeah.
it's
And
funny how
that's,
people respond to things, right?
yeah,
But it's
I think it
great
helps.
because the ones that are out there are serious. You're not
Right.
you're not out there looking at a house if you're not really looking to buy
Right.
one.
And
Not
that's the case with lots of our clients. They just don't have the time that it requires to look for a home. But I think on the positive side of this industry, being that with this 24-hour kind of stay at home lockdown or
yeah,
social distancing codes, I think it's offered a lot of individuals a time to search for homes, really get a good understanding of what they're looking at, and giving realtors as well the time to service their clients as best as possible.
and with that being said, I'm so glad that it is also given us the opportunity that Harris County was like it's considered an essential business.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I was a little nervous to
Yeah,
be.
people have to have a place to live. They have to have
Yeah,
a home. So
and I imagine if the real estate market tanks, that affects a lot of people.
yeah, yeah,
You know, yeah.
substantially.
So,
Yeah,
but cool. I'm glad that you're staying optimistic. I know we've been talking about kind of some of the things that have been going on, but I think more than anything is just being positive. Because
absolutely.
even if there's a negative thing that happens, being negative about it is not going to help anything.
And with most negative situations, there's a positive outcome in some way. So it's just making the best of the situation.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think a lot of realtors have the time and ability now to really market their properties. Use social media to their advantage, because what are people doing? They're at home on social media.
Exactly.
This is the
Exactly.
time to utilize those services more than anything. So
Yeah.
it's really just looking at it from a better standpoint, and you can definitely make the best of the situation.
So before we wrap up, I want to find out one more time, what is it that you feel like you're able to do now for your clients that to better assist them through this craziness, but also that you're like, you know what, we're able to do this for you that we weren't able to do before. Like, tell me
Yeah.
some things that you're able to provide for them.
Yeah, so points like I stated, I stay in constant contact with my lenders, understanding what kind of programs they have available right now, understanding the rates. What's that?
Do you have anything to share with that?
It's really, from what I'm hearing from my lenders, it's kind of a day-to-day basis. They're just saying rates are going up, they're going down. We don't really know how they're going to, look in the future. They're all still, giving me positive feedback though. They still say it's a great time to buy. They still say they have great programs out there. And the way that on the federal level, the way that mortgage rates are being handled, they're pretty optimistic that the market's going to uphold itself. After this entire situation's resolved.
Okay.
In addition to that, like I said, the detailed market analysis reports, whether it's buyers, I send them, detailed reports of properties that have sold, properties that are still on the market, how long they've been on the market, details about those individual properties.
Yeah.
On the listing side, providing that same information to the sellers, doing detailed market analysis of their property specifically in regards to how this pandemic has affected the real estate market. In addition to that, like I said, social media, using that to my advantage, very similar to this video, utilizing this time to sit down, inform the public, inform other realtors of what we're doing, to kind of fight this situation and make the best of it. That's pretty much where the majority of my focus is. There's lots more details to it. Any of you have any questions at all, to get in contact with me for sure.
So listening to things that you're offering, and I know you personally, but it seems like you're very detail oriented and that you're very analytical on things. So talk a little bit about your niche of real estate and what it is that you're good at so that people can say, okay, if this is what I need, call Keaon.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I like to offer myself as a problem solver to my clients. So lots of my clients will call me in special situations, whether, they're looking for a niche type of property, they need to move in a hurry.
Right?
There's just different situations. I definitely have an analytical standpoint to it. I'm a numbers person.
Yeah.
I'm not really a person that advises my clients based on emotions. I like to have numbers to back up my recommendations. And that's really where I kind of focus in regards to offering value to my clients.
Right. Yeah. And I can honestly speak to that. That's true. I've seen it happen. So, yeah, you're like if something is like, I need the numbers on it, the data, like, hey, this is
Yeah,
not looking cool. Like, let
figure
me
it
know.
out.
I know you're the guy. So, well, cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time and being able
Absolutely.
to
Thanks for having me.
who you are and what you're able to do in the real estate industry with all this craziness that's going on. I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
All right.
Absolutely. All
Have a
right,
good
take care.
one. Bye
Bye.
bye.